it's another Bundesliga record for Robert Lewandowski.
Erling Haaland scores a hat-trick on his debut.
Werner's arriving for a hat-trick and gets a hat-trick.
Sancho! Unplayable today. Coutinho! Oh, it's an absolute belter from Coutinho.
The Bundesliga's first match behind closed doors is coming up.
Previously.
The 57th Bundesliga season is off and running.
Featuring the most exciting title race in years. Bayern, Dortmund, Leipzig, Mönchengladbach, who'll hoist the Meisterschale. Robert Lewandowski, Bayern's world-class striker, is in the form of his life. This season, the poll has raised the bar even higher.
The first man to score in the first 9 match days of a Bundesliga season.
But all the contenders boast great players of their own, each a class act in himself.
Thuram to make his first goal in the Bundesliga.
Marco Reus! Another Marco Reus masterclass for Dortmund.
RB Leipzig were quickest off the blocks. Julian Nagelsmann, Timo Werner and company were the dominant force at the start.
It's Marcel Sabitzer with a magical free kick. A moment of majesty.
But along came Schalke to prove how little there is between the teams. Re-energised under new coach David Wagner, the Royal Blues travelled to the league leaders and brushed them aside.
The David Wagner effect continues. 4 straight wins for the Royal Blues.
Dropped points for Leipzig, but also for Bayern and Dortmund. Suddenly, the league had new and surprise leaders. Mönchengladbach at the top, spearheaded by Marcus Thuram, son of French World Cup winner Lilian Thuram.
Thuram! Daylight for Gladbach!
Match day 8, Dortmund under pressure in the battle of the Borussias. A truly extraordinary match.
This is Reus! This is the opening goal that they've been looking for!
Elsewhere, Bundesliga new boys hit the headlines. Union Berlin were most people's bet for relegation before a ball was kicked, but you underestimate the Irons at your peril. Their maiden Bundesliga victory came against title-chasing Dortmund.
What a moment for Union Berlin!
And in the first ever Bundesliga Berlin derby since reunification, the Irons made history by beating rivals Hertha.
This is a night that will go down amongst the greatest nights ever for Union Berlin.
Match day 10, Timo Werner and Leipzig laid down a marker in the title race with an 8-0 romp against Mainz. A classy display by the Germany striker, 3 goals and 3 assists.
Werner's arriving for a hat-trick and gets a hat-trick.
On the one hand, joy. On the other, gloom. The record champions blowing hot and cold. Time running out for coach Niko Kovac. The match against his former club Frankfurt. His last in charge of Bayern.
It's not been Bayern's day.
Kovac's former assistant Hansi Flick took the reins, and his first match in charge was the ultimate test, Der Klassiker. But led by the outstanding Lewandowski, Bayern convincingly overcame Dortmund.
Lewandowski! He just loves scoring against his former side.
However, top spot still belonged to Borussia Mönchengladbach and the dynamic team assembled by coach Marco Rose. The Foals duly passed the stern test posed by the record champions on match day 14.
How on earth did Sommer claw that off the line? And Benzebaini has scored! A memorable win for Borussia Mönchengladbach and a statement of intent.
Meanwhile, in Dortmund, roll up for the Jadon Sancho show. The 19-year-old striker with the most goals plus assists at the club, leading his team to a crushing victory against Düsseldorf, including a brace of his own. Sancho on fire.
Sancho! He's been involved in 15 goals in 12 matches, Jadon Sancho.
Bayern versus Bremen. And Felipe Coutinho in the spotlight with 3 goals and 2 assists. The newcomer was the star turn in the 6-1 thrashing handed out by the Bavarians.
Coutinho!
Here a global star, there a gifted new kid on the block. Canada starlet Alphonso Davies, a rock-solid fullback in defence and a permanent threat on the attack.
Alphonso Davies is motoring, no one's going to catch him. Good cross, great finish. Wonderfully worked goal from Bayern.
Matchday 16 and a breathtaking attacking spectacle between Dortmund and Leipzig with a point apiece from a 3-3 draw.
Brad, brilliant turn, brilliant finish. And we're all square once again.
RB fending off the black and yellows and in pole position at the halfway mark.
They are, for the first time in their Bundesliga history, the Herbstmeister, the autumn champions, and they lead the pile into 2020.
The restart and Dortmund on the offensive with a new star striker. Erling Haaland, Europe's most wanted man, joined Borussia from Salzburg and the Norwegian exploded onto the scene.
Oh, and it's an excellent finish from the substitute. Erling Haaland with only his third touch of the game.
But Bayern too hit the ground running. Müller, Gnabry and co pushed the pedal to the metal in the new year. The record champions remain undefeated in 2020.
That's wonderful! It's looking really good now for the champions in 2020.
The men from Munich seized first place in the table, but the tussle at the top hadn't been this tight in a long time. München, Leipzig, Dortmund and Gladbach were separated by a mere 3 points. Elsewhere, a transformation at the wrong end of the table. Marcus Gisdol breathed new life into Köln, taking the Billy Goat on an outstanding run.
Cornerman with the chance! It's 1-0 to Köln!
Oh, it's magical! For the first time in his coaching career, Gisdol leads the team to 4 straight Bundesliga wins.
Matchday 23 and the superlatives keep on coming. Robert Lewandowski with his 25th goal in 23 games.
Lewandowski! Matching the record of the great Gerd Müller.
But the best German striker is still in the running for the top scorer's cannon. Timo Werner currently on 21 goals for the campaign.
Timo Werner! That's how you do it!
And as for him,
Erling Haaland scores again!
9 goals in his first 6 Bundesliga games, a new record. And on matchday 25, the spotlight fell on Kai Havertz, Leverkusen's top talent with another new record.
Well, we really are seeing the best of Kai Havertz in 2020.
The last game of the season to date, the Rhine derby between Gladbach and Köln. Bundesliga football in the age of coronavirus will be played without spectators.
For the first time in the Bundesliga's history, a match will be played behind closed doors. Due to the coronavirus, local authorities have mandated that there'll be no fans at the near the Borussia Park.
With 25 matches played, Bayern are top. Dortmund, Leipzig and Mönchengladbach remain within striking distance. It's the most thrilling title race in recent memory. The biggest story in a remarkable, unprecedented season is now set to continue.